I'll never forget the night this happened. The pizza shop was minutes away from closing, and I was alone at the front counter finishing my shift. Just as I was about to shut down the register, the phone rang. I picked it up and said, "Thank you for calling. How can I help you?" There was nothing but silence. No breathing, no background noise, just complete silence. I assumed it was a prank call and hung up, but about a minute later, the phone rang again. Annoyed, I picked up once more. Again, silence filled the line. I was about to hang up when I finally heard something. A very weak, cold voice. It sounded like an elderly woman. She slowly whispered, "I'd like to order one regular pizza." Something about her voice felt wrong. It sounded distant and lifeless. Still, I forced myself to stay polite and took down the address. Before I could confirm the order, the line suddenly went dead. My boss told me to make the delivery and then head straight home since we were closing anyway. I grabbed the pizza, keys, and left. The address led me to a quiet neighborhood on the far side of town. It was close to 10 p.m. when I pulled up. The house was small, one floor, and completely dark. No lights, no sounds, nothing. I walked up to the door and rang the bell. No answer. I rang again, still nothing. Just as I was about to leave, I noticed movement in the window beside the door. An elderly woman was standing there, staring directly at me. She didn't blink, didn't move, just stared. I shouted through the glass, "Ma'am, your pizza is here." She didn't react. Then suddenly, her face stretched into a wide smile. Not a friendly smile, but one that made my stomach twist. That was enough for me. I backed away, returned to my car, and placed the pizza on the passenger seat. As I started the engine, I glanced to my right, and my heart nearly stopped. The same woman was now standing right beside my car window, staring at me with that same terrifying smile. I slammed the car into drive and sped away without looking back. After that night, my boss never sent me on late deliveries again. This happened when I was still in high school, working as a pizza delivery driver after classes. One evening, I was told to handle the final delivery of my shift. The address was far out in the countryside, surrounded by forest and dirt roads. After about 15 minutes of driving, my GPS said I had arrived. The house looked old, almost like a wooden cabin, sitting alone in the middle of nowhere. The grass around it was overgrown, nearly reaching my knees. Still, I grabbed the pizza and walked to the front door. I knocked loudly. Within seconds, I heard footsteps inside, slow and heavy, moving toward the door. The footsteps stopped right behind it. I suddenly felt uneasy, like someone was watching me. "It's the pizza delivery," I called out. A deep, rough voice responded from the other side. "Bring it to the backyard." I hesitated. Something about the situation felt wrong. "Are you sure?" I asked. No reply. The footsteps stayed near the door, like the person was still standing there, listening. Reluctantly, I walked through the tall grass around the house. The backyard had a small patio with a table and several chairs. One of the chairs had someone sitting in it, facing away from me. I stepped closer. "Excuse me," I said. No movement. I repeated louder, "Excuse me?" Suddenly, a voice came from behind me. "Over here." I spun around and saw a man peeking around the corner of the house, grinning wildly. "Come here. I want to show you something," he said. Panic shot through my body. I didn't wait another second. I turned and ran straight back to my car, still holding the pizza box. I drove away as fast as I could and called the police once I reached the road. Later, officers told me the house had been abandoned for years. I quit my delivery job just a few days after that. To this day, I still wonder who or what was sitting in that chair. I used to do late-night pizza deliveries in a rural area surrounded by forests. One night, while driving down a foggy road I had taken many times before, something suddenly jumped out in front of my car. I slammed the brakes, but it was too late. Thud! My heart dropped as I realized I had hit someone. I stepped out of the car and saw a man lying on the road, wearing a dark hoodie. He wasn't moving. Panic flooded my mind. Before I could react, I heard something even worse. A scream. It came from deep inside the woods beside the road. Someone was yelling for help. Thinking quickly, and maybe foolishly, I decided to follow the sound. I walked a few steps into the trees, calling out, "Hello, where are you?" Silence answered me. Then I heard a crunch of leaves behind me. I turned and saw the shape of someone standing behind a tree, watching me. Fear took over. I ran back toward my car as fast as I could. When I reached the road, the man I had hit was gone, vanished. No body and no blood. Nothing. Terrified, I jumped into my car and continued my delivery. When I finally reached the customer's house, a woman answered the door. As she handed me the money, her eyes shifted past me toward my car. Confused, she asked, "You guys deliver in pairs now?" My stomach dropped. "What do you mean?" I asked. She pointed toward my car. "You have someone sitting in your back seat." My blood ran cold. I slowly turned and saw a shadowy figure sitting behind me inside my car. Police were called immediately. When they arrived, the figure was gone, but they found something else. A blood-stained knife lying on the floor of my back seat. Even today, I still can't stop thinking about what might have happened if I had noticed that passenger too late.